Strickwood, seconded by Ms. Honeycutt. Thank you very much. Agenda questions. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions under new business on this agenda. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, your position in the group, and yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you are here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes, and please specify the resolution you are referring to in your question. Motion to open to public, Mr. DeSilva. Second by Mr. Gallo. Thank you very much.
Evelyn Slackbarrow, 43 Thunder Place. G, the contract with Strauss, Esme and Associates. There's no cost listed for what the contract would be as a cost to the district. And also I'd like to, can you describe the enhanced access to the policies, bylaws, and regulations to the district? And would that include access to the, in Y, the long-range capital plan for the district?
Okay, that was a lot, and I don't understand the third part. It's a 3-part question. It's been a long day.
Sorry.
The first part is $4,300.
$4,700.
About $4,700.
Okay.
I'm good. I'll go with number 2. I'm not with number 3. The second part of the question is that we have ability to access a great deal more information for policies. Our administrators are online. It is a component that they didn't typically have access to, and that's explanations for some of the policies. So it is the ability for them to be able to sign on and not just see the policy itself, but to see a lot of other information that helps guide some of the decisions that they make.
Okay, and what will the public have access to?
Exactly what the public has access to now, right. This is an internal ability for more information for our administrators and central office staff.
Okay, and would the public be able to have access to the long-range capital plan?
The long-range capital plan relative to policy?
Relative to, on the website, I guess.
Well, that question's actually outside of Strauss Esme.
Okay.
Right? Is that it's not with Strauss
It could be. Well, it just said about the public access to certain things. So when I look at the website, it doesn't differentiate for me because I look at the Board of Ed, there's the policies, it's, you know, right. So it's a different, it's different to you, but it's, you know, for me looking out from the inside. Will we have access to the long-range capital plan?
Is that something?
That's not on the agenda right now, the question.
Are you mixing this with 15 or 16 wide?
Well,
it's unto itself. It's just a broad question.
Yeah, sorry, because it was, I thought it would be in with the whole change to what the public would be able to see on the website.
Strauss Esme is our long-term policy consultant that we've used for many, many, many years.
Okay, okay.
So, but their scope of work is strictly the district's policies.
Okay, okay, okay.
Is that
so,
a fair way of putting
yes.
it?
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, okay, so I guess, who actually does the web configuration to, for what we see as the public on the website?
That's actually done by central office administrators as well as school administrators as well when they update their own website. We have 4 or 5 people who have been trained in district to monitor the entire site, Carlos Rosa being the web master, but John Pascal will take care of his piece of it, and principals will take care of their own as well as some of their assistants.
Okay.
Will work to do that.
Okay, so I'll bring up this third part later.
Is the third part? In answer to your question, I don't know if the long range, if I may, I don't know if the long range facilities plan is something that is open and typically posted on a website. I don't know if we ever have, if it's typically done.
I know, but I like untypical.
This I know, Mrs. Slutman. This I know.
It just would, for the public to be able to see what improvements you're looking to make to the school and et cetera, you know, I think that would be a good thing for the public to be able to view. Okay?
I can tell you that in answer to your question, we're working with the Facilities Committee. We'll do so over the next few years to talk about what our plan plans look like, and what our recommendations are to the full board moving forward as far as facility improvement are concerned. So we'll do one better than just posting it someplace on the website. It'll be public presentations that'll show you where we're at, what our rationale is for moving forward in those areas, the potential cost for it, and the timeline. So I think that's more what it is that you're looking for, and I think it'll be more beneficial to the public to do something like that publicly.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Andrew Berinsky, 51 Malcolm Road. I'm not sure if this is on the agenda, but I just wanted to talk about the playground at Betsy Ross. Do you know when you'll be replacing the tire chips?
Not on the agenda.
But I still would like to enter it
We're gonna
anyway.
have a
There'll be a-
facilities report during the meeting,
Okay.
and you'll get probably some of the answers, and then at the end of the meeting, if you have more
And
questions.
when is the facilities report?
During
It's
the
about
meeting.
5 minutes.
Okay, and I can speak during that?
No,
No,
at the end.
At the end of the meeting, you can address any non-agenda items.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, may I have a motion to close to the public? Mr. Copeland, second by Mr. Gallo. Thank you. Dr. Stone, you have a report for us this
I don't,
evening?
other than there is a lot of activity facility-wise going on in our district, in a lot of the buildings, and our maintenance staff and facility staff are really doing an outstanding job to make sure that our buildings are good to go in September. So I just wanted to thank them midsummer, and as the temperature begins to rise, I think they'll even more.
Mr. Bleeker, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yes, I do, a couple items. First, just to echo what Dr. Schoen said, great work to the maintenance, custodial, and the technology departments for everything that they are doing this summer. We have a lot going on, a little bit at every school, and they're doing a great job making sure that we're going to be in a good spot for September. In the business office, just to give everybody a notice where we are with regards to closing out last year's financials. We've done everything locally in our office. We're doing the last few pieces of it right now. We have our auditors scheduled to come in the last week of July, first week of August, so they should be here pretty soon to do their fieldwork portion of it. And as with other years, they do the fieldwork now. Typically, we shoot for October for them to bring a report back to the business office that I would then share with the finance committee. In the last couple of years, it has been held up a little bit by some state changes to different codes and policies as far as when we can release that report publicly. We're hoping that there's none of that this year, but time will only tell for that. And then 2 items on the agenda I just wanted to highlight, point out. One is 17B. That's the retirement notice for Mr. Ken Shesholtz. Ken is the township CFO. He has also served for at least the past 13 years as our treasurer of school monies for the Board of Education. So we congratulate and we thank Ken for his years of service with us and wish him all the best in retirement. Ken will be retiring at the end of November. And the other item is one clarification I wanted to bring to everyone's attention and correction for the agenda. It got brought to my attention not too long before this meeting started, so we didn't have time to make it here. If you go to page 7, it's going to be item 16T. Just so I can share with the board what the correction is. 16T is titled Parent Academy. That needs to be modified to Teacher Academy. And within the body of it, the second line, education improves the stipend for staff to provide a parent workshop on the dates below. That should read to provide a teacher workshop on 8/15/2019. So again, I apologize for that oversight, not seeing it before this was printed, but I want to make sure we discussed it publicly, and that changes what will be voted on later on this evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Mr. Fair, do you have a report for us this evening?
Yes, a brief report. And just to clarify, I know Mr. Bleeker just shared about the Teacher Academy. That will be taking place for our new hires during our new hire orientation. Also, I just wanted to report briefly on our AP scores. They were just released and published. Generally, for students to gain college credit, they must earn a 3 or better on the exam. The exam, bless you. The exam is scored between a range from 1 to 5. 15 of our AP courses overall earned a course mean score of 3 or better, and 9 of our AP courses overall earned a mean score of 4 or better, which is awesome. So we're proud of our AP students, and we're just as proud of our AP teachers. And I know part of it has to do with some of our AP teachers going as AP readers, and I know that the board has been generous enough to approve that. So thank you for that as well. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis.
I do not have a report for this evening. Do you have any board committee reports?
For the policy committee, we're almost done.
They'd already
With this?
Yeah, that's right, 16 M and N. We have 3 on for first reading and 15 on for second reading and adoption. And as soon as we're done with these, we have our next assignment. We have 5,000s. I didn't count yet.
I will do that for you, Mr. Sullivan, because I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's, I think there's 100 and change that we're looking at.
It's another one like
Yeah,
this.
it's another big book, so we're plowing through the big books first, so.
What is the 5,000 series? What's that cover?
It
Sorry
was-
for the trick question.
Pupils?
Students?
Yes.
Oh, impressive. Here's pupils.
Students.
Oh, that's
They
right.
will be
Yes.
students by the time we're done.
Yes.
So it'll be about
Very
the
good.
46,000 changes?
Very good point.
Okay, any other committee reports?
Community Relations had a meeting on 7/12. We developed and forwarded to the Executive Committee our mission statement, which will be released to the remainder of the board on the 7th of August. And we're meeting again on the 9th to continue our work.
Thank you very much. And yes, Mr.
And just briefly, there's been continued community interest in our playground project. We have let a purchase order to Downs Tree Service, and we will be engaging them shortly on scope of work, schedule, and what our options are going forward. So we'll be looking at that a little bit more closely in the next week or two.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other comments from any board members on any reports or other non-agenda items?
I'd like to thank Kyle for the report he gave the board regarding all the work that's being done in the district. All the years I've been, I've never had as comprehensive issue. I'm very pleased with that. And I'm not coming on vacation with you.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Anyone else? Great. Okay, may I have a motion to move new business? I'd like to take 16A through AA. Mr. Gallo, second by Mr. Markowitz. Do you have any questions, comments on any of these items from any board members? I'd just like to thank the donations, as I always do. So the donation by the Lenape Meadows HSO for a mural to be painted in the hallway of the school. Okay.
Sidebar, I'm sorry.
And also, we got an anonymous donation of soccer team shelter benches. Estimated cost, let's see, for how many, of $9,400 each. So whoever made that donation, thank you very much. We're very grateful for that.
This for the home team.
Okay, let's see, did I have a motion to proceed on that? Yes, we did.
Yes, we're taking, it was a motion by Mr. Gallo, second by Mr. Wojciechowicz. For item 16A to AA, Mr. Copeland.
Yes on everything, but I'm abstaining on check number 095730.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kizmarsky.
Yes.
Ms. Conica.
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowicz.
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Gallo.
Yes, except on 16A, I am abstaining on check number 095644.
And Ms. Barron.
Yes. I'd like a motion to proceed on new business, 17A through P. Mr. Wojciechowicz, seconded by Mr. Kizmarsky. Any comments on this portion?
I'd like to thank Mr. Sesholz for his 15 years and wish Ms. Brown good luck in her new adventure. My kids had a great year in her class this year, and it sounds like she got a cool adventure in front of her. So
Yes.
wish her luck. Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Take roll call, please.
Mr. Copeland.
Yes.
Mr. Kizmarsky.
Yes.
Ms. Conoco?
Yes.
Mr. Wendrikowitz?
Yes?
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Gallo?
Yes.
And Ms. Barron?
Yes. Now, public questions or comments. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public? Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Coughlin. Thank you. Would you like to- oh, yes.
This is your moment.
This is your time.
Good.
Yes, Andrew Persky, 51 Malcolm Road. You earlier said that you were going to contact with Downers Tree Service.
We have a purchase order with them.
Purchase order for it, which is, and that will be done in the next couple weeks?
That's where we're working on.
Okay, I was just wondering if perhaps you might consider replacing all of the tires rather than just some. Just because the underlying problem is still there. Putting something on top of the tires doesn't get rid of the potential for any kind of cancer risk or any other horrible disease that the school children could contact. It seems to make a lot of sense. Many other playgrounds, the reason being that kids need a bouncier surface doesn't seem to hold water with me. I mean, we look around, there are many other playgrounds in Ramsey. I mean, I know Hubbard has all wood chips. Tisdale, I think, is half wood chip, half tire, but wood chips on a good portion of it. So I just urge you to think about it, and I really think that there's plenty of parents who could remove the tires if it becomes cost prohibitive.
Thank you.
Yes, and I work with national politicians all the time, so it's exciting to see local government, and I hope local government can be a bit more effective than Washington.
That's setting a really low bar.
Our bar is a little higher than that.
Evelyn Slotbrow, 43 Thunderhead Place. So I had seen that there has been an issue with mercury in some of the polyurethane that has been used on gym floors in the past, and I don't know if that has been looked at and confirmed whether our gym floors are safe and do not contain that
Catalyst.
yeah.
I think this came up in your email at 9 o'clock this morning,
Mhm.
so.
I know
No.
you haven't had a chance to look at it, but I wasn't sure if that was something that had been previously, because it's a couple of years, I guess, that the Department of Education gave the notification to everyone about taking a look at it, so I wasn't sure if anything had been done after.
The article said that it's something that districts are starting to take a look at, but it's
Okay.
not a mandated investigation at this point, if I read your article correctly.
Okay.
Am I correct?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, may I have a motion to close to the public? Mr. Coughlin, second by Mr. Gallo. Thank you very much. May I have a motion to adjourn?
One thing,
Yes.
happy birthday,
Yes.
Mrs. Morrissey.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Yes, happy birthday!
Thank you very much. Funny guy.
Where's the cupcake?
All right. Motion, I already got the motion, okay. Meeting adjourned, thank you.